Buenas noches a todos. Le damos la bienvenida al entrenador de Cruz Azul, el señor Juan Reynoso. Entrenador, buenas noches. Iniciamos con la pregunta de los medios. Iniciamos con David Espinosa.
Gracias. Hola Juan, gusto saludarte. David Espinosa de Fox Sports. Espero que el clima te tenga muy bien después de estos 90 minutos. Quisiera saber si resultó más complicado este equipo del Forge, si esperabas que quizás podía ser un poco más sencillo para Cruz Azul, o si esperabas que fuera a complicarse de esta forma.
Hola David. No, ya hoy, más allá que es una liga que está recién teniendo sus primeros años, ya hoy todos nos conocemos, hoy los videos, etcétera, sabíamos que iba a ser complicado. Lo que sí nos dio más lata fue el tema del viento, ¿no? No tanto la cancha, porque la resolvieron bien, pero sí el tema del viento fue mucho factor, sobre todo los primeros minutos jugando en contra, no podíamos sacar la pelota jugando porque se quedaba a medio camino. Segundo, ya tuvimos más control y nos faltó matar. Tuvimos 2-3 como para hacer el 2-0. Pero bueno, la eliminatoria como siempre está abierta y ya de local estamos seguros que la vamos a cerrar allá en Ciudad de México.
León Lecanda.
Sí, buenas noches, profesor Reynoso. León Lecanda de ESPN. Quisiera preguntarle su valoración sobre actuaciones individuales. Por un lado, vemos a un mulo Otero muy metido, buscando la pelota, encontrándose cómodo dentro de la cancha, marcando un gol, un poco también por el factor viento, pero un gol que finalmente le da la victoria a Cruz Azul. Y por el otro lado, un jugador pues que es muy señalado, ¿no? Como Luis Ángel Mendoza, que ha recibido los minutos, pero no parece marcar diferencia a favor de Cruz Azul. Gracias.
Hola, León. Tú sabes que yo valoro más lo colectivo. Siempre lo colectivo va a potenciar las individualidades. Va a pasar como hoy que Rómulo en un tiro de media distancia nos abrió el juego. Y de ahí más empezar a decir si A, B, C anduvo bien o mal. Creo que nos disparamos a los pies, no es mi estilo. Creo que en general hubo esfuerzos importantes. Como decía, el sábado tenemos que entrenar jugando y hoy fue tal cual. Jugaron algunos 60, otros 30 para pensar en tenerlos a todos aptos, más lo que se quedaron en Ciudad de México para el día de domingo.
Daniel Sandoval.
Muchas gracias. Muy buenas noches, Juan Daniel Sandoval de Canal 6. Quisiera preguntarte, más allá del resultado que se consigue, el triunfo, igual la ventaja para la vuelta en casa, ¿qué consideras que le faltó a tu equipo esta noche, teniendo también en cuenta las complejidades por las condiciones del clima? Gracias.
Hola, Daniel. No, nos faltó esa malicia, ese espíritu asesino de definir los juegos y porque a nosotros, le decía eso post partido, a nosotros nadie nos perdona, nos llegan una vez, dos veces y nos hacen uno o dos goles. Otros si valoramos esas pelotas dentro del área y somos contundentes, hoy estaríamos hablando que la eliminatoria estaría más encauzada. Esos son los detallitos, algún detalle más de oficio en el primer tiempo, nos madrugaron en algún lateral, en una pelota que hoy en el 2022 no puede pasar. Pero bueno, eso todo se habla, todo se revisa y ya con el video nos va a quedar más claro.
Sergio Venegas.
Gracias, muy amable. Buenas noches, profesor Reynoso. Los saludo con gusto, Sergio Venegas para Deportes.com. ¿Le ocupa ese tipo de situaciones que no son contundentes y quizá que el equipo llegó un poco sobrado contra Forge porque por papel son un poco superiores y quizá en el partido de vuelta deben demostrar esa superioridad y le deseo éxito, profesor? Gracias.
Hola, Sergio. Los partidos hay que jugarlos. Para nada hoy salimos sobrados. Sí, el viento nos complicó, nos preocupaba el tema de perder alguna pelota en salida o que fildeemos mal. Más allá del sábado, el sábado creo que el primer tiempo sí salimos sobrellevando. Total mérito de Necaxa también, no quiero demeritar, pero sí creo que el sábado salimos, como tú dices, hoy no, hoy para nada no, más allá de los cambios, más allá que algunos venían con pocos minutos, creo que el equipo se mostró, todos compitieron y eso es lo que queremos. Ya el domingo veremos quién está bien y bueno, apostaremos nuevamente a seguir peleando arriba en la tabla en el torneo mexicano.
última pregunta con Félix Zapata.
Gracias. ¿Qué tal, Juan? Buenas noches, Félix Zapata, del periódico Reforma. Y hablabas un poquito, ¿no?, de la importancia de saber definir o de saber concretar ya estos partidos. Ahora, de cara al domingo, ya con esta victoria, el grupo se sacude un poquito, pues, esas dudas que mostró después del sábado, con todo lo que pasó la semana pasada por el tema de la directiva, pensando en que va a ser un partido quizá bastante exigente, ¿no? Como lo es ir a meterse allá a Toluca, ¿no? A enfrentar a estos Diablos Rojos de Ignacio Ambriz.
Félix, mira, lo que mencionas creo que es mucho el entorno del folclore del fútbol. Nosotros semana a semana juguemos contra quien juguemos, valoramos todos los juegos igual, nos presionamos, habrá días que tenemos una mejor noche, una mejor tarde que otros, pero estar acá implica estar siempre con la adrenalina a tope y la exigencia a tope. Lo otro es parte de lo que pueda entender o interpretar el entorno, los medios, la afición. Nosotros tenemos claro dónde estamos y para qué estamos. Lo otro es, la verdad, no nos alejamos de esa situación porque no nos ayuda y si uno está preocupado en esa situación se termina complicando. Así que hoy pensaremos ya en descansar, en dormir bien, mañana salir temprano, y ya el viernes abocarnos totalmente a lo que va a ser Toluca como planeación del partido.
Gerardo, muchísimas gracias. Ahora quisiéramos invitar al jugador Rómulo Otero.
Gracias, buenas noches. Rómulo y
Le damos la palabra a Perciel Macedo.
Buenas noches, hablo del Brasil, por Radio Territorio MLS, que puedes hablar sobre la partida, la victoria del Cruz Azul hoy y para el próximo partido, cómo será recibir el Ford en casa del Cruz Azul.
Sí, la verdad que fue un partido bastante difícil por el clima, por el viento también. Sabíamos que iba a ser difícil, pero bueno, nos adaptamos al partido rápidamente. Al principio nos costó un poco, pero bueno, como he dicho, nos adaptamos al partido, al clima y pudimos sacar un buen resultado. Sabíamos que la pelota parada iba a ser esencial. A favor y en contra teníamos que estar bien concentrados porque tenían buenos cobradores y cabeceadores también. Lo pudimos encarar de una manera excelente, con mucha concentración y eso nos llevó a la victoria. Pudimos también hacer más goles, pero bueno, nos vamos con la victoria, que es lo importante, y bueno, después un partido en casa que lo vamos a estudiar nuevamente al rival y sacar lo mejor de nosotros hoy para llevarlo a cabo el próximo partido.
Adrián Otero.
Muchas gracias. Hola Rómulo, Adrián Esparzoteo de TUDN. Muchas felicidades por tu primer gol. Preguntarte precisamente por esa anotación, es desahogarte, ¿no? En gran parte después de que pues, es tu primer gol con Cruz Azul y sobre todo preguntarte dónde te sientes más cómodo en Cruz Azul, por la banda izquierda, como enganche, como interior. ¿Dónde se siente Rómulo Otero más cómodo bajo el esquema de Juan Reynoso? Gracias, Rómulo.
Sí, la verdad que me siento muy feliz por mi primer gol y además en una victoria. Es mi primer partido como titular también, en partidos oficiales. Me siento bastante contento por la victoria del equipo, por cómo el equipo se vio hoy dentro del campo y eso es lo más importante, el grupo, ¿no? A mí me encanta jugar de enganche, de 10, porque tengo la pelota siempre pasa por allí, ¿no? Por el medio del campo y tienes más opciones de tocar la pelota y me encanta esa posición. Hoy se me vio bastante bien. En el segundo tiempo creo que la agarré un poco más. El primero estaba bastante difícil, pero bueno, esa es mi posición preferida, la de enganche.
Vamos a tomar dos preguntas más. David Espinosa y finalizamos con Sergio Venegas.
Gracias, Rómulo. Gusto saludarte, David Espinosa de Fox Sports. Quisiera preguntarte ahora de qué forma te compromete lo que es esta titularidad, el gol, lo que mostraste, para que pues justamente ahora Juan te pueda tener todavía más contemplado y que puedas tener más participación, que a final de cuentas pues era uno de los propósitos para este torneo.
Sí, como he dicho, es mi primer partido como titular oficialmente y me siento bastante feliz, bastante contento por el gol y por la victoria, por el desempeño del equipo. Como había dicho en entrevistas anteriores, decía que tenía muchísima fe, que me iba a llegar la oportunidad y me llegó y siento que la supe aprovechar y bueno, estoy aquí para sumar para el grupo. Independientemente si el próximo partido no juegue o la verdad que estoy aquí para sumar, esperar nuevamente entrar al campo y ayudar a mis compañeros. Me siento bastante feliz por el gol y por el triunfo de hoy.
Sergio Venegas.
Muchas gracias. Buenas noches. Sergio Venegas para Deportes.com. Primero, felicitarte por la victoria, Rómulo, y decirte, ¿te sientes preparado para los dos torneos y sobre todo levantas la mano con este gol para pedirle la titularidad al profe Reynoso y te deseo éxito? Gracias.
Gracias. Sí, la verdad que me siento bien físicamente. Es otro Otero, al contrario del que llegó, que no había hecho pretemporada, que no estaba bien físicamente, que le costó muchísimo adaptarse a la Liga de México, a la altura, todo eso. Hoy me siento bastante mejor y sí, estoy preparado, sí. Y bueno, como había dicho, independientemente si me ponen o no me ponen, estoy aquí para sumar, siempre con alegría, esperando nuevamente oportunidades y aprovecharla como el día de hoy. Estoy aquí para ayudar a Cruz Azul, a mis compañeros y aprovechar y decir que me siento muy, muy feliz por el triunfo de hoy.
Bueno, muchísimas gracias. Con eso finalizamos la primera parte de estas conferencias de prensa. Continuaremos con Coach FC.
¿Respondí bien?
Continuing next press conference with Coach FC.
Excelente. Bien, sí. Gracias. Pues nada.
I would like to welcome player Ashton Morgan from Coach FC. Ashton, good evening. We'll start with the question of Brandon Q.
Hey Ash, a valiant effort for Fortnite at home given the circumstances. Just how's the return to Champions League action been for you there?
Yeah, it was great. Showed a lot of fight today. All of us were pretty upset with the result. We all feel there was something in that game for us. So we're gonna take a look at the game and we had a lot of positives, and we're gonna we learned a lot about them, and we're gonna take it for the next match coming up in Azteca.
Charlie O'Connor.
Thanks. Hey Ash, just for you personally, obviously your first game with this club, just how did you feel that you kind of fit in, especially with a few of these other newcomers? How did it kind of go for you out there?
Yeah, I felt great. Nothing better than start a home game in Champions League play. It felt great to be in front of my family, my loved ones, and the Forge fans, and put the jersey on and be out there with my teammates. It was great. It's been just under around a month time for preparation for this match, and it shows what we put in, and there was a valiant effort for us, and there's a lot left on the table for us to grab.
Dan Harris.
Thank you very much. Darnell Harris, Northern Tribune. So, of course, you've played in the Azteca before, and no one else on the team has. So, going down to Azteca, I guess, what are you both thinking about, but also what advice might you be giving your team in terms of what to expect next week?
Yeah, definitely. We're about to play on one of the most beautiful pitches, in the world, and there's no better opportunity for myself and the entire club and all my teammates to go out there and express ourselves, and no need to play with fear, no need to play with hesitation, anything that we could play free and play our style of football, especially in such a beautiful pitch. There's no better opportunity than to play forward football on that pitch. And like I said, we felt like we left some on the table still from this match that's passed, and we're really excited and ready to get going and get over there to Azteca and put up a fight.
What's your last question with Sergio Venegas?
Hi, thank you very much. This is Sergio Venegas from Mexico City, Deportes.com. First of all, congratulations. Maybe not it's the best result you expected, but you put in a lot of effort to get in just one goal. And what are your expectations for the next game? According that the weather is going to be changed, maybe Cruz Azul had the advantage via a local team, and you have nothing to lose, and you are the team that could be taking off the great team from Cruz Azul, and I wish you the best luck.
Thanks. Yeah, again, we're going to go into this match. Really, we're actually very excited. I feel, like I said before, we left a lot on the table there, a couple of chances go our way. That first half, it's a different score, and again, we get to play in one of the most beautiful stadiums in the world, and as I said before, we're really excited to get going and, get a result.
Thank you very much. Now we'd like to invite head coach Bobby Smith. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening, Coach. We'll start with the question of Charlie O'Connor.
Thanks. Hey, Bobby. I mean, Champions League debut. I think there's probably a lot that you're proud of in that performance out there.
Yeah, massively proud of the team. That's the one thing I just talked about with them in the dressing room. I usually say a few words after, but heads up high. We've walked out of this game and our disappointment is we've matched our opponent. We've played good football on, short preparation time, and playing against a massive club in Cruz Azul. All around, it's unfortunate to give up that goal, but massively, just proud of the guys, and at the same point disappointed we didn't come out with a result tonight.
Hey Bobby, it's Michael McCall here from AFTN. You went toe-to-toe with a Mexican powerhouse tonight, and I know you're disappointed with the result. At the very worst, you wanted to make sure that you were still in the second leg, and you've certainly done that. Your team in the past has shown that you can go to these places and get results and get goals. What are you expecting in this second leg?
Yeah, we're expecting to go down there and try and turn this leg. It doesn't matter to me if it's Cruz Azul, Olympia, or anybody who we've played in the past. We're going to go down there and devise a game plan to try and flip this around and keep ourselves moving in the competition. It's one thing we've talked about. We're not just happy to be here, and I think that's something that the guys showed on the pitch tonight. I thought their work rate, their effort was excellent. The football wasn't the best at times. I think even for both teams, the conditions made it different, which changed tactics a little bit more and pressure points with the wind and different things like that. But we'll look at the next few days. We'll look at the film from this game, and now we know each other a little bit better as teams, both sides, and we'll make that tactical game plan that will allow us to go down to the Azteca and do what we need to do.
Sergio Venegas.
Thank you very much. This is Sergio Venegas from Mexico City for Deportes.com. Coach, congratulations for the result. I know it's not the best possible, but you say in the press conference before, like, your team just have 1 year and months just getting into the CONCACAF Champions League competitions. So now you think this is what you expect from Cruz Azul, the way that they performed tonight against you, because you put in a lot of effort to take a score against you, and I wish you the best luck for the next game. Thank you very much, Coach.
Yeah, Cruz Azul definitely has a lot of pedigree in their team. You see that they've made a few changes in the group tonight, but also a lot of those players coming on in the second half. But it's a team that's very well organized. You know, they know what they want, they know how to step on the field, and they press situations very well. So they also made it difficult for us to really be on the ball in certain moments that we wanted to. But I think we also made the game uncomfortable for them. So I think that's one thing that both teams did very well. They made the game a little bit uncomfortable for each other in a lot of phases of the game. And I think then if you see that a goal is going to be scored in a game like this, it's maybe going to come from a single moment, from a set piece or something like that. And that's how this one has been decided. So we look at those finer little points. Yeah, of course, we respect Cruz Azul, but now we know what we need to do. We have to come down to Mexico City and in the Azteca and win that match and keep ourselves moving in this competition.
Sandra.
Hey, Bobby. Just question for me is, obviously you've got a chance tonight to go out there with 10 Canadians in the starting lineup, a team that, started playing in 2019. How big is it to have a moment like this where you're taking on a giant of Mexico at your home pitch and, inspiring maybe people around the nation?
Yeah, if you look at the moment itself, I think it's massive. You take away all the tactics, the game, our feelings right now after, and you peel back and you think about it. I think it's absolutely excellent, for our club and what we've been doing in CONCACAF competitions over these last 3 years. This being the 4th year and the 17th game we've played. I think we keep on increasing the standard, and it just shows the trend of where Canadian soccer is going. I said this earlier in the week. It's not only with players. And we're seeing players moving off to different levels around the world and being very important players in top leagues. Our national team topping the CONCACAF region and on their way to the World Cup. And I think that's also us playing our small part from being a team in the Canadian Premier League and showing that we belong, because that's the most important thing. There's a lot of good Canadian players. We see it in our national team. We see it across the world, but even in this league and in this club. The talent is immense in this country. It's the platforms that are needed. And every time you compete in games like this, you keep on stepping up a level. And I think we've seen that in the field tonight. And you look at two examples of two center backs on the pitch, and Dom Samuel, especially, who's been an absolute rock for us over these 3 years and going into the 4th year. And I think, if Dom Samuel's playing in Liga MX, it's a normal thing. After you've watched the performance of today and you watch the performance of the last 3 years. This is a rock of a center back in the CPL and then all of CONCACAF competitions. And the same goes for Garvin Matusula, who I thought was excellent again today. This is a player who, over a year ago was a youth sport player. And here he is playing, and next week he'll be at the Azteca. And this is what we're going to continue doing as Forge. This is what we'll continue doing with teams in the CPL, because this year it's Forge. This summer it'll be Pacific playing in the CONCACAF League, and in the future it'll be other clubs. I hope so long as I'm at Forge, it continues to be us. I thoroughly enjoy every part of this, but that's the reality of the growth we have in the Canadian game.
We'll take 2 more questions. Daniel Harris, finish with Brandon C. Daniel, go ahead.
Thank you. You spoke about the CONCACAF League, and of course, last year you had applause from Honduras when you finished your game against Managua. Could you speak about the value of that journey and that experience leading to your team's ability to handle this moment so well this evening?
I think we've shown that from the beginning. Even last year we're one step closer to Champions League, and this year we've done that. But you get stronger by playing in these competitions. It gets you out of your comfort zone in a lot of aspects. Just playing away in a lot of the venues and everything that's just a little bit different than being here at home. And last year we had that with playing 2 legs in El Salvador and then traveling to Panama, Costa Rica, and ultimately in Honduras. And when you leave Tegucigalpa to a standing ovation, I don't think there's many teams that have had that, and we can check that on Google or whatever search engine you may like. But I think that keeps on growing the confidence in the group. And that's one thing we've always talked about. I'm sure a lot of people saw the draw with Forge and Cruz Azul and probably predicted a lot of scores, but I can tell you at no point that I ever talked to the team or did we ever have a discussion in the dressing room about us being happy to be here. And I think when you set the tone that way, it's the same way we talk right now after the game. It's okay, we know what we have to do next week in Mexico City. That's the only way you move forward. Mentality is everything. Everybody can kick a ball, everybody can move a ball, but we have to have a strong mentality about how we go into situations. And the one thing I've always known is as Canadian players, we can dominate in places like Central America and different places like that where we didn't in the past. And that's the trend and the shift that's been in Canadian soccer. Now, okay, next week is a massive challenge, but it's a challenge that we have to be up to.
And thank you.
Hi, Bobby. Just a quick question from me tonight is, I know I asked you in the pre-match run-up about some of the guys that you've brought in, likes of Noah Jensen, likes of Chris Kalongo. In a similar vein tonight, you gave a number of players their Forge debuts on the continental stage, Kwasi Poku for one, Kale Lowry coming on at the end there. Just what does it mean to the club and to Sigma even just to bring some of these guys on for their professional debuts in this environment?
Yeah, I think it's always important, when a player is training well, a player is showing, good qualities, a player tactically makes sense in certain situations, through their work ethic, they show it. And that's the one thing I talked to about the players, their work ethic and training and attention to the details that we're asking is going to give you your spot on the weekend or in this game. And for me, it's, you look at a player like Kwasi Poku today, it's his first game as a professional player. But the kid's been excellent in training. He's shown his qualities. So it doesn't matter if you're playing Cruz Azul or a team in the CPL. If you've earned your spot, you earn your spot. And that's something that these guys understand in the dressing room with me throughout my years. That's one thing I always want to make sure that new players understand. And yeah, we need to see younger players coming through the system. There's no doubt. And the players need to keep on developing. When we started this league, or this team 4 years ago, the likes of Dom Samuel were an excellent player, and today he's another level of a player. And that's also one thing we talk about the younger guys, but some of these guys like Dom Samuel, I just use him as an example, who's now pushing on to 27, 28 years old. This is a player who continues to develop and get better. And that's the importance of what we're doing here in Canadian soccer, across the board. Not just the young guys, not just, okay, it's great to have some of the veterans in here, but we've pushed the depth of players and quality players in the mid-ranges of players between 22 and 28. And I think that's very important. And yeah, going back to it, the young guys, when they're good enough, they play. That's as simple as it is. Whether you're young, you're old, it doesn't matter. When you're good enough, you're old enough.
Thank you, Coach. Thank you to all media members. The video will be available at the CONCACAF in Messenger.
Thank you, everyone.